Today we're gonna make salmon oreganata. I have a beautiful piece of salmon right there. This is an easy dish, especially for during the week. It's really a 30-minute meal. Let's get into it right now. All right, we always like to go over the ingredients. We're making salmon oreganata. This is probably the least popular of all the oreganata dishes that you will find. Typically it'll be clams oreganata or shrimp oreganata, but often you'll see it with like a whitefish, like cod or flounder oreganata. But it's really nice to do with salmon, and I have a 2-pound piece of salmon that Tara got for me at Whole Foods today. And this is just farm salmon, which is fine. It's perfect. We actually spoke about this actual meal in the 30-minute meal podcast that we did. I think it was episode number 11. It was all about realistic 30-minute meals, which this is 100% one of them. Liquid that's gonna go in the pan is just gonna be 1 cup of low sodium chicken stock and a 1/4 cup of dry white wine. I have Sauvignon Blanc here, but any white wine, dry white wine would be fine. For the breadcrumb mixture, the oreganata mixture, it's a 1/2 cup of plain breadcrumbs. You could use Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, but there's no reason to because we're making our own seasoned breadcrumbs right here. And then to do that, we're gonna put a little bit of lemon juice in. I have 2 teaspoons of this dried Sicilian oregano. I have roughly 4 cloves of garlic. If you like more garlic, go ahead and use it. I minced them up really well. I have a 1/4 cup of minced fresh parsley. I'm going to put in a little bit of red pepper flakes. Really, you can make this seasoning any way you want. We'll put a little bit of salt in there. Most places will use cheese in it. They'll use Parmesan or Pecorino. I'm actually going to omit using cheese in this today. So we're gonna make our breadcrumb mixture, we're gonna get it on. So all you have to do right now is heat up your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and set it for the middle rack. 2 other ingredients I'm missing is just a little bit of olive oil and butter. We're gonna use about 3 tablespoons of cold butter that we're gonna mix into this at the end to make a sauce. Really simple dish. Let's make it. Okay, so we're gonna cut up our salmon. It's important to have your knife sharp. You want to see if it stops, it needs to stop dead on your fingernail. If it's sliding on your nail, it's not even close to sharp. Now you can remove the skin too, but honestly, it's more pain than it's worth. So let's just like try to even this out. This is the longest part here, so it doesn't have to be as wide. So I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Like that. And then this is our nice fillet, salmon fillet. Square it up again and just, now you can just go 1, 2, 3. Let's just mix up our oreganata topping really quickly. So this is a 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs. It's just plain breadcrumbs, 4 cloves minced garlic, 1/4 cup of our fresh parsley. Make sure you save a little bit of parsley for the nice garnish at the end. Okay, so I have 2 teaspoons dried oregano. This is Sicilian oregano. It's the most flavorful oregano. It's so different compared to the stuff that you'll buy like in a jar. 2 teaspoons of lemon juice in here. I cut lemon before. You can use 2 lemons if you want. I like to serve wedges on it, but I got to get 2 teaspoons in here, so I'll just squeeze like probably 2 of these maybe. Normally a lemon will have 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, give or take. Some lemons will have 4, some will only have 2. 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, decent pinch of red pepper flakes. If you don't want any spice in this, just back off there, or maybe just use a little black pepper. Extra virgin olive oil. So this says a 1/4 cup, but you can start a little less. You want these to be very moist, the breadcrumbs on top, because if they're too dry, what's gonna happen is it's gonna like brown too quickly, because it's gonna take about 20 minutes to bake this in the oven at 400 degrees. Now it's all gonna also be a little different based on the size of your salmon. If you have really thin salmon, it will take less. If you have a very thick piece, potentially take a little bit more. I feel like we have too much breadcrumbs for the amount of salmon we have, so we don't have to use it all. We don't need a super thick layer on it. These breadcrumbs are perfect to save. You can save it in your fridge, and you can do this again with fish during the week. I mean, this is a great just stuffing for like mushrooms or anything like that. All right, and then put on a little bit of salt and pepper on the salmon, because the salmon needs a little seasoning too. Even though we are putting the breadcrumbs on top, it's not gonna hurt to do this. Okay, I have a baking dish that will accommodate these 4 pieces of salmon. Get a little messy here, it's not a big deal. Use your hands and just kind of try to smush it on top. And you don't have to completely cover it, like I said, and we have way too many breadcrumbs. I did this recipe a few times. I think the salmon I was dealing with was not quite as thick, so it had more surface area on top. And that's cooking, guys, it's just nothing is exact. Even the most precise recipe is not gonna be able to factor in if you have thicker or thinner salmon. But just because I have all these, I don't wanna use them all. I think like it's about It's the textural difference. You don't want to be eating just breadcrumbs here. Probably used about 2/3 of them, and that's what I'm left with. And then we have this here. A little bit of them fell in the pan, and that's fine. You don't want too much to fall in the pan though, because then the sauce will get a little too thick. And now I have a 1/4 cup of that dry white wine. I'm just gonna pour it on the side here. It's gonna go in the whole entire pan, all right? You just go like this and tip it to get it to go down there, but it doesn't matter. Then I have my chicken base. I always have to mix it again because this stuff like just starts clumping up again, but it's great. I like it much more than the box stocks and stuff. Obviously, if you had some like seafood stock, that would be great here. Even shrimp stock would be good, but chicken stock is kind of a neutral, which is fine. All right, so I'm gonna pour this in here gently. I'm just trying not to hit the top of the fish. I'm just trying to find an empty spot and getting it in. 400 degrees, roughly 20 minutes. It's very forgiving using farm salmon. There's a lot of fat in here. It's very hard to mess this up, so don't worry. After that's done, like that 18, 20 minute, maybe 17, hit your broiler up for a minute and it'll get really toasty on top. You have time to do a vegetable, and that's what we'll do while this is baking. All right, so I'm gonna heat my pan to about medium, maybe a touch less than medium, maybe about a 4 out of 10. I'm making garlic spinach right now. Coat the amount of oil at the bottom, all right? Like that much. What are you doing making all that noise over there?
I'm drinking a prebiotic soda.
Sounds horrible.
It's a really good.
It's like, you know, like when somebody tells you they're having something and you're not jealous at all, like at all. Like, enjoy that.
You're such a dick.
That's on camera, you know I'm filming, right? I'm putting the garlic in. It's the perfect side for your fish, and you have the perfect amount of time to do this while your fish is baking in the oven. So you really can do all this in 30 minutes, truly can. Okay, so my garlic is getting just a tiny tinge of goldenness on the edges of it. You can see the little thinner pieces are getting a little bit more golden. That's good. Got a nice flavor there going. Hot red pepper flakes, I'm putting maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. And then let's get our spinach in, and I'm gonna put a little bit of water in the pan here, about 1/4 cup worth. Just try to like get in there without making too much of a mess. I'm trying to get the bottom to the top. Just let this go for about 3 to 6 minutes, just until it wilts. So you can see we don't have a lot of spinach now compared to what we did. So I'm just gonna take it like this and just kind of tip it here. And I'm just gonna get out some of that liquid. And now it's a lot drier in the pan. Turn that up a little bit. Gonna season with salt. About a teaspoon. You need a lot here. Bitter greens especially. Spinach isn't really bitter, but you just need a lot of salt. That's perfect garlic spinach. I'm gonna turn it off. If you need to drain it a little bit more before you serve it with your fish, that's all you do. And then when you do that, you can just add a little bit more nice extra virgin olive oil. Just give it a taste. Make sure that it's perfect. All right, I'll be back with the fish. So I took them out. Some of the skin got stuck to the bottom of the pan. Now, these are perfect. They're done. I checked. Leave that there. You could tent it, whatever. Be careful when you're touching your pan now. What I need to do is I want to make a little sauce here very quickly, but I don't want the skin in there, so I got to remove, see, like that's a little bit of the stuck skin there, so I'm just going to remove it out of here. And here's my cold butter. I'm just going to put it in. I'm not, you know, you don't need all this liquid here for the sauce. It's just really nice richness here to like drizzle over the oreganata. So this is unsalted butter. We're just mixing it in here with the residual heat from this, which will make a delicious sauce. A little bit of pepper in there too. So what I like to do is I will pour a lot of this sauce around the serving dish here, but for now, since we're just doing one, we'll just serve up one piece. And there you have easy, very easy, salmon oreganata.
You said salmon oreganata?
That's right.
Okay. And you made spinach?
Yes. The spinach you can taste. It's for it, but it's not a part of the ratings, you know? Mm-hmm. And there's skin on there, so you don't want to eat the skin, obviously. You're just gonna eat, when you do it this way, you just eat the top of it. So that's the skin down there.
The skin is edible.
The skin is edible, but I would have had to have done it, I would have done it in a cast iron then, you know? This is like just a super simple dish. And if you're skilled, or you can have your, you know, the fishmonger person at Whole Foods or whatever, you can have them remove the skin for you. Yeah, and the lemon is for the fish too, if there's not enough lemon flavor on it. How's it taste? Does it taste fresh? Tastes good? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Enough garlic?
Yeah, I think so. Let me try the spinach.
Yeah, what about the spinach? My little spinach, it went from this to this. I'm sure the spinach is good.
Yeah,
I thought it was good.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, well, I mean, what, are you just not a fan of spinach in general?
No, I do like spinach. I like the salmon a lot.
Yeah, let me see the spinach. I think that's good. What, you want even more salt on the spinach?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's like
I knew that.
I think it's lacking a little like flavor.
And I put a lot on already, but this family, meaning him and Sammy, they want a lot of salt. All right, James, well, why don't you rate the salmon for me?
Okay. I actually really like the salmon. Like it's almost like a fish version of piccata.
Piccata, yeah, well, it has lemon in it, yeah.
I do like the breadcrumbs with it a lot. Yeah, everything's good. I don't think it needs more seasoning. I just do think it needs like a little more lemon. I know the lemon is there for it, but I think it could still use like some lemon like on the breadcrumbs maybe.
Well, that's good feedback, for sure.
Like maybe you can put some like lemon zest on the breadcrumbs.
Not a bad idea.
So I gave it a 9.
Okay, ooh, I thought it was like a 6.
No, cause like I gave it a 9 because the only thing it's lacking is the lemon.
Maybe you can come around more often.
Yeah. Well, I will be now since camp is over.
Yeah, I know. No, he had 5 weeks of intense basketball camp. That's,
It was not sleepaway camp. 'Cause I think-
7 weeks.
I think we got comments that that he was sleeping away.
Not sleep away, no.